Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles, a channel where I try and showcase the fun that could be had in the world of variant Sudoku. And today I'm doing that with the second half of a puzzle set. This is the second puzzle in Double Take by Tallcat, which is two puzzles with the same name, so they share a solve counter. If you solve one of them, you contribute to the solve counter of both. If you solve both, you add 2 to the solve counter of both. They look very similar. So this is a German Whispers Quadruples puzzle. Yesterday's puzzle, which was this one, as you can see, they looks quite similar. That was the Entropic Lines one. This is the German Whisper one. So very, very interesting looking grid. I struggled quite a lot with yesterday's. I'm hoping this one will go better for me. Let's see how we go. Hi, this is BremSter from the future jumping in, just to let you know that on this solve, I actually hit a couple of problems. First, I make a mistake in my logic, or a pencil marking mistake, and then I have to roll back for a fair bit in order to get back to the point where I don't have an error in the grid and then figure it out. Then I get very, very stuck. There is a piece of logic in this puzzle that I do not find, and I have to go and get help in order to solve it. And thank you to the person who showed me what I was missing. And then I come back after an edit point and show you how that all works. So I just wanted it to be clear to everyone that there's going to be a little bit of a journey in this one, but that's sometimes what happens when you're solving, and I'm not going to ditch an entire video just because I missed something. That's not fair to the creator. So back to past BremSter. Yeah, so everything I covered yesterday, there'll be a link below to where you can solve this puzzle. I'll post a link to the page of this from Logic Masters Germany. I hope you're enjoying the Sudoku Tube set, which I'm pretty certain is coming out as these do. I can't think of anything else I want to cover. Of course, there's all of my collections page where I post puzzle packs that people send me and everything. There's a couple of things I'm working on for the channel, but until I know they're going to happen, let's not announce things. So let's just get straight into it. So Double Take by Tallcat. So we've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. German Whispers. Adjacent cells on a green line must have a difference of at least 5. And digits may repeat on the line if allowed by other rules. So these two digits must have a difference of at least 5. Those two digits must have a difference of at least 5. Those two digits must have a difference of at least 5. That's what we know. And then quadruples, digits in a quadruple circle must be placed at least once in the 4 cells touching the circle, or the way he phrases it, digits in Y circles must be present at least once in the cells the clue touches. So we must put a 2, 3, and 4 at least once in there, a 6, 7, 8 at least once in those 4 cells. A 4 must be present at least once in those 4 cells. A 7 at least once in those 4 cells. Quite different clue topology in this one. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. So the most obvious thing, let's go through the obvious things about German Whisper lines. First of all, you can never put a 5 on a German Whisper line, because if you do, you have a mathematics problem, because the digits next to it must be at least 5 different. So you must add or subtract 5 or more. If you add 5 or more, you're at 10 or higher. If you subtract, you're at 5 or lower. Kabloom. Doesn't work with Sudoku. So you can never put 5 on a German Whisper line. So in row 6, I immediately see we can't put 5 in any of those cells. So 5 has to be in one of those two to fulfill the quadruple. If I put it here, the quadruple's broken. Now, is there anywhere else I can use it? I mean, 5 is in one of those two and one of those two. I don't know that that's a huge it's a logical leap. It's a logical leap, but it's a thing. Why did I say that? What is wrong with my brain? Please don't answer that. Okay, so it's a similar sort of thing to yesterday. This must contain, okay, so alternating polarity on German Whisper lines. Because we cannot put a 5 on a line, every digit on a line, I'll use this as an example, must be either below 5 or above 5. But you can never put 2 digits that are below 5 next to each other because the maximum difference is 3. You can never put 2 digits that are above 5 next to each other because the maximum difference is 3. So anytime you've got a low digit, the digit next to it, or below 5, low next to it, the digit next to it must be high, above 5. We call this alternating polarity. So entropy is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Polarity is 1, 2, 3, 4, is low, and 6, 7, 8, 9 is high. So they must alternate polarity. So because you can never put the same polarity next to each other, but you could only put polarized digits next to them on the lines. So we must put a high polarity digit in here, but we have to put 3 low polarized digits into these 4 cells. So these are low and from 2, 3, 4. One of these is from 2, 3, 4. The same is true here. One of these must be low. So these must be high, thank you, and must be from 6, 7, 8. Now, there must be a 6, a 7, or an 8 on here. Now, if it's a 6, it must be here, because the only thing 5 away from 6 is 1. If it's a 4, it must be here, and this must be a 9. But that could work. I'm not seeing what to do with that. Except I am. Because as we alternate along this line, I can color. That's one polarity, and that's the other polarity. But if red was low, then these would all be 5 lows. But low is made up of 1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't work. By the way, it does put 5 in one of those. So red is high, so I'll change it to yellow, and purple is low, so I'll change it to blue. And these are from 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't be 4. There must be a 4 in here, because I can't put 4 in the middle, because the digits on either side of it would then need to be both 9. And I can do the same here. These are all the same polarity, so they can't be high. So those are low, and these 2 are high, and must be from 7, 8, 9, because I can't put 6 in them. So one of these 2 is a 6. So the low in here is 2 or 3, and the high in here is 7 or 8, because I can't, one of these has to be low, and they must be different. Because if I don't make the 3 high digits different, I won't be putting the 3 high digits around. And the same with the 3 low digits here. While it's technically possible for me to have like 2 3s in those cells by Sudoku, I'd break the quadruple, because I then would have to make those 2 and 4, and those would be too close. And the same logic is true in those 4 cells. So these are from 1, 2, 3, 4. That one can't be 4, because the 2 digits next to it would need to be 9. Now that's 3 low digits. So I can't make both of those low, but I could potentially make both of them high. So I'm not sure. Ooh, this is tricky. This is twicky. So there must be a low digit in here, a high digit in here, and it must be 6 or 7, because I can't use 8 or 9. So this is either 6, oh no, I could put 6 here as well, with both of those being 1. So this is 6, 1, or 7 with 1, 2. So these are only from 1, 2, 6, 7. But that's the only place I'm seeing a huge restriction. Oof, this is going to be hard. I get the feeling this one's harder than the previous one. There must be a high digit in here. That'll be 3 high digits. There must be a low digit in here. That'll be 3 low digits. I'm only working with 2 polarities. Where's 5 in this column? I can't put 5 in any of those, because these can't contain 5, because they have to contain the 6, 7, and 8 that aren't here. Can't put 5 in any of those. That's the 5. This is not the 5, and that means this isn't the 5, and this is the 5. That's a cool thing, but it hasn't helped me that much, has it? Yes, it has. Where's 5 in this column? That's a 5. Okay. And now where's 5 in this box? It's there. Where's 5 in this box? It's in one of those 2. We know 5 is in one of those 2. 5, however, has to be in one of those 2 now, because it can't be in a line or in this column, which means this isn't the 5, this is the 5, but this 5 is looking up saying that's not the 5, that's the 5, saying this isn't the 5, and that's the 5. And I've got all of the 5s? No, this 5 looking down saying that's not. Now I've got all the 5s, right? No. Now I've got all the 5s. But I'm not sure how that's going to help me much at all. This is a high digit. Okay, that's a thing. Because I've got the low digits and the 5. This is a high digit. So what? I can't make both of those high. And I can't make both of those low, well, which I knew because I couldn't make both of those low. But I could make both of those low and that high, or I could alternate those. Yeah, I don't know. Now there's a 7 in one of these. Now a 7 can only go next to a 1 or a 2. So if I put a 7 in here, it's with a 1, 2. If I put a 7 here, this is a 1, 2. If I put a 7 here, this is a 1, 2. But I'm not seeing a restriction on 1, 2s. I mean, I'd get something on 2 unless the 7 is there. A 7 here would make this a 1, or oh, maybe not, because I could go 7, 1, and then I've got freedom on the 2. One of these has to be high. So let's do some coloring. We know those are all the same, and these are all the same. I can never put a 9 around this, so I can never put a 4 on this. The low here has to be 1, 2, or 3. So this is 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. Because I can never put a 4 here because a 4 would need a 9. And if I put 4, 9 here, these would have to take the 6, 7, and 8. So these are 1, 2, 3 with 7, 8. Similarly here, I can never do a 6. So these are 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, because the 6 would need a 1, and then it would be 6, 1, and I'd have no room for the 2, 3, 4. So 4 and 6 aren't in those. Which I was wondering about this row. If I make both of those high, though, and both of those low, I could put a 4 in either of those. So it doesn't quite cut it. This is low. And it's any of them. There must be a low and a high in here. So this is low and high. This is low and high. This is low and high. So there is a low and a high in here. But that still allows those to say both be low, this to be high, this to be low, and that would just work. I think. Could these be in the same order? The question is, could these be red? Because that would fill up red. Like if these were red, if you have a look in row 4 now, I've got all 4 of the same. So these all become purple. These become purple. So purple would have to be low. So red would have to be high. This would have to be purple. Red would be high in this situation. So purple would be low, and all of those would become red. This would become purple. This would become red. This would be red. This would become purple. I'm actually going to change this to orange. Oh no, red is fine. And that's now broken. Because I need to put one of each in here, but I've already got all 4 purples. So these, I know that seems like bifurcation, but people do this sort of stuff with coloring all the time. Like, look at the way people solve yin-yang puzzles and stuff. So this has to be purple, and these have to be red. And now these are one of each, which actually has not freed me up at all. But it does mean that I've got all 4 lows. So this has to be high. And I've got, because one of these is one of each, I've got one of these has to be high, which means I've got 4 highs. This has to be low. I feel there's something going on here. Because this is 7, 8, 9, but these are all 6, 7, 8, 9. Purple was low. There's one of each in here. So that, right, there's one of each in here and one of each in here. So this has to be red. So this is one of each. This is one of each. This has to be high now because this is one of each. This is one of each. That's one of each. So these have to be one of each. This is high and these are both low. That's a thing. That's really a thing. I could do the same here. This is one of each. This is one of each. So this must be purple. Because I've got a red on here and a red on here. This must be purple. So this is now 4 purples. This is now red. I still don't know which one is which. But now, this is one of each. The difference was the 5 was off the column here. This is one of each, so this is one of each. No, not necessarily. These could both be the same if that's high. Can that 7 lock it in? This is 2, 3, or 4 because it can't be 1, which doesn't restrict that at all. It just means it's 7, 8, 9. It can't be 6. Four is in there. The low in here, in those two, is 2, 3, or 4. If that's low, it couldn't be 4. Because both of those would have to be 9. There must be a low in there because I've got 2 high in here and at least 1 in here. So there's 8 high in each set of 2 columns. I'm thinking back to the trick I used last time, but I'm not sure I've got the same level of information. Can I do more up here? I'm not seeing it. One of these must be high. One of those must be low. We know these are one of each, but if this is a 6, both of those would be 1. That would be a 1. And 6 would be in here, putting 6 here. And 6 in here. That's okay. One of those is low, and it's from 1, 2, 3. Oh, good Lord. The low one here is from 1, 3, 4. If it's there, it's 1 or 3. Like, where... Can I use the same trick I did over here? I don't think so. Because that digit could go there, or that digit could go in either of those. One, two, three, four. Sorry, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There must be a high digit in here. There's there's another high digit in here, which I already knew. So that hasn't helped me at all. This is a high and a low, which I already knew. And this is a high and a low. So this is 2 lows and a high. Could that be 6-1 or that be 6-1? I don't see why not. The only cells in this line I'm seeing are restricted to those, and that one couldn't be 6, and this one can't be 4 already. So, but they couldn't be 4 or 6 no matter what. So they're from 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, and that doesn't seem to be helping at all. This is from 1, 2, 3, 8, 9. The low digit in here is one of those two. But if it was there, it could go there. If it's there, it's either of them. If it's 2, it could go with any of 7, 8, 9. If it's 3, it can go with 8, 9. I've already done enough bifurcation on this puzzle. Like, I know it's the way that these are supposed to be solved, but I don't like it. Four isn't in any of those. It isn't here. It isn't here. 4 is in one of those 3. 4, 9 would work, 4, 9 would work, 4, 9 would work. So 9 is in one of those three. But that puts 4, right. 4 can't be here because both of those would be 9 and 4 can't be here. So 4 is down here, which lines up with this 4 quadruple, putting 4 in one of those. But I can't put 4 there. And now 4 is down here because I can't put 4 in any of those and I can't put 4 in any of those. So there's no 4 on this. The low on this is from 1 or 3. If that can't be 4. If this was 4, these would both have to be 9. That's the 4, and purple is blue and red is yellow. So this is not 1, 2, 3. This is not 7 or 8. This is not 2 or 3. This is not 7, 8, 9. It's the 4 that did it. This is 7, 8, 9. This is 7, 8, 9 because I can't put 6 next to 2 or 3. This is 1, 2 or 3. This is 7, 8, 9. So this is actually a 6. So this is 7, 8, 9, meaning this is the 6 and there's no 6 there, making a 7, 8 pair, taking 7, 8 out of both of those, which takes 9 out of there and 6, 9 out of there. The 7, 8 pair makes that the 9, taking 9 out of there. 9 is absolutely in one of those two. There must be a 6 in one of those. This is 1, 2, 3, or 4, and I don't see how to restrict that yet. These are 1, 2, 3. This is not 7, because 7 is down here, but this is 6, 7, 8, or 9. This is also 6, 7, 8, or 9. That was a breakthrough. I feel broken. 9. Well, this is a 1, 2, 3 triple. So that's the 4. So this isn't the 4. That's a 2, 3, taking 2 and 3 out of those. The 4 looks up making that the 1, which makes that the 4, which means this is 1, 2, 3, 6. But we take 1 out of those, take 1 out of here. There must be a 4 in one of those two. And it's not there. That's a 2, 3 pair. So yeah, that matches with 4 down here. This is a 2, 3 pair. All of this is working, I think. One of those must be a 7, so that can't be a 3. Okay. I need help. Okay. Right, 9 must be down here, and 9 is in that pair. So this can't be a 9, because if that was a 9, that would be a 9, because to go 9, 6, 9, those two would be a 9, and I couldn't put a 9 down here. This is not a 9. There's no 9 in any of those. 9 has to be in one of those two, which I could have got by looking at the column. Okay, fine. There's no 9 in here. The high digit in here is 6, 7, or 8. And it can't be 8. Actually, I'm not sure about that. No, it could be 8. This isn't the 6. This is the 6 because of the 6 looking up. This is the low digit and it's 1, 2, 3. 4 is in one of those two because of the 4 looking down. So 4 is in one of those two. 4, 9 still seems possible. One of those two has to be a 7 for this row. Because of the 7, 8, 9 triple, there's no 7 there. One of those has to be a 7. That is not a 3. So there is a 1, 2 virtual pair. Wherever the 6, 7 is in here, I need to put a 1, 2 on it, and there's a 1, 2 there. That's the 3. That's the 2. There's no 2 in either of those. That's not a 2 anymore, which doesn't restrict that any... Actually... 7. Yeah, that can't be a 7 anymore. It's too close to 3 and 4. So this is only an 8 or a 9. Sip of coffee. I don't feel I've earned it, but I feel I need it, which is never a good sign. That's low. It's 2 or 3. No, this isn't a 2. That's a 2. This is a 2. How do I know that's a 2? One of those two digits is a 2, and I have to put a 2 down here. If I was to put a 2 here, that would be a 2, and there's no 2 around the quadruple. The same happens for all of those. None of those digits can be a 2. So that's a 2 and is a low digit. This is high, and this is high. That's 7, 8, 9, because 6 is too close. This is 7, 8, 9. This isn't a 2 anymore. So there's a 1 or a 3 on here. There's a 6 in one of those two, because I can't put 6, 1, 1. Actually might be possible. So let me undo that. 6, I think, could be in any of those. No, if I put a 6 here, this would need to be a 1, and it can't be. 6 is in one of those two, which puts 6 down here with the 4. I still know there's a 1, 3 on here. With the high digit. This is low. There is a high digit on here with those 3 high digits. This is low, meaning this is low, meaning these are high, meaning this isn't the 4, that's the 4, that's the 3. This is a 1, 2. That's very, very cool. These are 6, 7, 8, 9. It's not 6. This is now low because of the column. I've got 4 high digits. This is... Oh, that might still be able to be 6 if both of those are 1. And that might be possible. There is a low and a high in here. Ah, no, this can't be a 1 because the quadruple. This is a 2 and there's a 1 in one of those two to make the quadruple work. Nope, the 1 is right there to make the quadruple work. This is a high digit. 6, 7, 8, 9, and there must be a 6 in one of those two, and it can't be there because of the 2. So this is... Well, it sees 1, 2, and 4. That's a 3. And the digit on here is a 1. The 2 is in one of those two now because of the 2 looking across, which puts a 2 down here. There's no 2 there. There's no 2 there. But 1, 6 or 1, 7 still works. So this is the 2. Which means this isn't the 2. This is a 1 or a 3. So that's a 1, 3 pair. The 9 in this column, because of the 7, 8, 9 triple, must be down here. This isn't a 9. And these are known. These are 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are 2 and 4, and the 2 makes that the 4 and that the 2. And more importantly, or less importantly, I can colour them all. This becomes the 1, 3 for the box. That's the 1, that's the 3. These are both high, which are 7, 8, 9. Come on, give me something. Haven't got it yet. That's not a 9 because of the 9 looking down. So these are 1, 7, 8, 9. That's not a 4 or a 6. So this is a 4-6 pair. Can't put 4 or 6. Yeah, this can't be a 6. So 6 is down here, but it's not here. This is a 4-6 pair. And if this is a 4-6 pair, that's the 2. And I can get rid of the corner marks. So this is 1, 7, 8, 9, and the other 7, 8, 9 are down here, making those all high. But this 2 looks like making that the 3 and that the 2, looking across making that the 1, that the 3, looking across making that the 2, making that the 1. These are a 3-4 pair because of the 1, 2. That can't be a 4 because that can't be a 9. That's the 3, that's the 4, that's the 9. The 9 says that's not the 9. 3 is right in the middle of the box because the 3 and the 3 are knocking out those columns and the 3 and the 3 are knocking out those rows. That is the 3. Still need to put 8 and 9 in here. I don't have that locked in yet. Maybe there's something there I'm missing, but I'll get to it eventually. I'm nothing if not slow. The 2 is looking down saying that's not the 2, that's the 2. So this is the 7, 8, 9. Oh, no, it's just 8, 9 because I've got 2, 3. These are both 8, 9. So the 7 is over here. There's no 7 in here because the 7 must be down here. These are just 1, 8, 9. That's a 1, 8, 9 triple. That's the 7. That's the 8. That's the 8. Taking 8 out of those, that's a 7, 9. There's no 8 in those. That's a 7, 9. So that's the 8, making that the 9, that the 8. Taking 8 out of those, that's a 7, 9, meaning this is 1, 8. Looking up, making that the 9, taking 9 out of there. There's no 8 here either. 6 or 7 can't go next to 3. That's the 1. So there must be a 3 on this, which means I can't put a 6 on it. This is the 6. This has to be 3, 8 because I can't put 3 next to 7. This is the 7. Oh, this is cool. The 3 makes this the 8 and this the 3. Do I want to get rid of the colouring at this point? Yes, I do. No, wait. I've made a mistake. This has gone terribly wrong. This is wrong. I've got 2 1s in the column. So when did I do that? Probably focusing on color ages ago. So when did I do that? How did I do that? Oh dear. Is this right? No, this is still wrong. How did I get this wrong? Oh, Lord, how, what? That was feeling so good. So this is correct. When I put that 4 in, why did I take 4 out of there? So what I'm thinking is 4 could be in one of those. Okay, so the thing I did here with the logic here, making this high, to turn around and say, I've got 3 high, there has to be a high here, this is low. So this is 1 or 3. Let's go back to that. This is 1, 2 or 3. 4 and 6. Okay, I've made a mistake here. I don't know. Something went terribly wrong. It's a shame too, because that was going really well. I'm going to have to figure out an edit point for where it goes wrong so I can allow people to skip it if they want to. Okay, 7 still has to go in one of those. The 3 here is still good. Talk about ruining your flow. Okay. What do I look at now? 1 is in one of those 2 because that's high, making that the 3, which means this is 8 or 9. This isn't 1. So this can't be 6. This is 7, 8, 9. So 6 is down here as well, because I can't put 6 in any of those. So this isn't a 6. That's a 7, 8, 9. 3 must be in one of those two. So 3 is in one of those two. This is tricky. Okay, that's a 7, 8. Right, these are both low because I've got 6, 7, 8, 9 and 5. So these are both low. So they're 1, 3, 4. This is 1, 3, 4 and this is 1, 3, 4. So it's not 6 and it's not 3 because of that. So this is only a 1 or a 4. Ah, 6 and 6 makes that 6. So this is low. And it's 1 or 2 only. But that gives me all of the lows in the column and the 5. So these are both high. And a 7, 8, 9. So these are both low. Which doesn't do much. Well, 2 can't... Why have I got 2 not there? 2 can't be there. 2 is in one of those two. This is 1, 3, 4. There's no 4 there because 4 has to be around the quadruple. So, yeah, 4 is in one of those two. That still works. 3 is in one of those two. 3 is over there. Okay, that's still working. I don't like it, but it's working. Whichever one of those is a 6 makes one of these a 1. So there is absolutely a 1 down here, which I could have got by the fact that I can't put 2, 3, or 4 on that line. There is absolutely a 1 on here. And it's 1, 7, 8, 9, and I don't know which. This can't be a 4 because that can't be a 9 because of the 9 quadruple. That can't be a 4 because if that was a 4, that would be a 9 and that would break the 9 quadruple. That's the 4. There you go, which means this isn't the 4, this is the 4. This is the 9, this isn't the 9, taking 9 out of there. That's cool. This is 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2, 3. And that's done. Sweet 1, 2, 3. On here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. Can I narrow that down? It was easier when I'd made the mistake. The lyrics of the song I'm just listening to was that there must be some mistake. I'm listening to The Wall by Pink Floyd. It's very nice background music if you know it really well. There must be a low digit in here, which is a 1, 2, or 1 or a 3, and there's a 1 or a 3 in here. So yeah, there's a 2 in one of those two. That's not a big deal. I'm stuck. Seven. Sorry, I'm looking for something I could use as whisper logic. Or anything, really. Or anything, really. Sorry, I'm scanning like I've gone dead silent because I'm feeling very lost. If that's a 1 or a 3, that would be a 1. How? I mean, I just want to confirm this is correct so far. It seems to be correct so far. What? These are 1, 2, 3. I'm not even sure I can't put an 8 in there, is the problem. Like if this is a 6, both of those become 1, that becomes a 1, and it all seems okay. That would become a 1, that would become a low digit, which would be a 3. And then that would be a 6. So if that's a 6, that is a 6, but I don't see a problem with that. If that's a 3, that's a 7. So I can't put 1, 2, or 3 in here. This is a high digit. That is absolutely a high digit because it can't be 1, it can't be 2, it can't be 3, and it can't be 4. So 2 is there or there. But that could be a 3. Making that 8, 9, this 6, 7. That could be a 3, I think. This is 7, 8, or 9. If that's 4, 1, 2. These are both high, and that's, I don't see a problem there either. 6 is in here. Oh, no, 6 could be in there. What's going on? Okay, 9 in this column is down here, so there's no 9 here. I can't seem to restrict that. Those whisper lines at the bottom, I don't see how to restrict them. I'm playing with 1 and 3. With 6, 7, 8. But I don't have enough information to... Three goes next to 8, 9. 2 goes next to 7, 8, 9. If that's a 7, that's a 2. 1. These would be 8, 9, so that would be 7. This would be 1, 2. 7, 2, 1, 3, 1, 7, 2. That all works. 1, 3. So these would be 8, 9. That'd be 7 with this being 6, 1. I don't see a problem with any of this. And I'm solving in my head, which is just not fun. What is this? Like, I could put 7 down here as far as I can tell. And it doesn't even restrict these, because I could put 7 off the line in multiple locations. This feels like I need to do more bifurcation. What can this be? It can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. This is another high digit. Oh, okay, there's the trick. This can't be 1. Oh, no, it could be 2. So what happens if this is 2? We have 2, 2, 1. So 2, 2, 2. And that doesn't do much. No, that does nothing. That could be a 2. So I actually don't know anything about that cell. It's 2, 7, 8, 9. Thing is, 4 in this row is in one of those two. 6 is in... Oh, 6 has more options. I really have no clue. Pick a cell and guess. If this is 4, this is 3, 2, and 1. 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1. If this is 4, this is 1. If this is 1, 3, 4, 4, 4, 3, 1, 1. One, so those would all be 1. I don't know. I'm going to stop this video and get help because this is crazy. I don't see anything here. So I'll be back after I've gotten some help. Okay, so after a bit of time, I have gotten the help I needed and been told the things I missed. So the obvious thing, which I saw myself, was 9 is looking down, removing 9 from this cell. And that is actually the critical cell to get me unstuck. Because the question you need to ask is, what happens if this is an 8? If this is an 8, 3 can't be placed in this box, because this becomes an 8, this becomes a 9, and then you can't put a 3 anywhere, because I couldn't put a 3 here because this couldn't be 8 or 9, so I couldn't put 3 here, and I couldn't put 3 anywhere here because 3 needs to have 8 or 9 next to it, but the 8 and the 9 have gone here. So this can't be an 8, this must be a 7. Removing 7 from those, and that's all it does initially. The next question that you need to ask is also about 3s, and it's 3s in box 4. And you can, it's fairly obvious, and I missed it, which is 3 can't go here, because if 3 was here, this would need to be 8 or 9, and it can't be because the 8 or the 9 is down here. So 3 is in one of those two, preventing that from being a 3 and making that the 3. Now, once this is a 3, there was something else which I'm trying to, now this is a 3. 3 is in one of those two, which removes 3 from there. And this is where the really tricky step is. Like, this stuff was you're supposed to find this fairly easily. And but the tricky step now is 3 in row 2 can only be in those two cells, and 3 in row 4 can only be in those two cells. So that is an X-wing on 3s. If this was a 3, so if I was to put a 3 anywhere else in these columns, we've broken the puzzle. Now, we already can't put a 3 down here, or we can't put a 3 here. So 3 is in one of those two. And the reason for that is if I put a 3 in either of those two cells, if I put a 3 here, for example, which is the important one, if I put a 3 here, then I can't put a 3 in either of those. And in this row, the 3 would go here. And in this row, the 3 would go here. And I've got 2 3s in column 8. So that can't be a 3. And this is where the puzzle apparently breaks open. Because now one of those two has to be a 3, which means this can't be a 7 because 7 is only 4 away from 3. That's an 8. That's a 7. That's an 8. And apparently that breaks the whole puzzle open. Let's see, shall we? There's no 7 in those. The 8 looks down, taking 8 out of all of those. The 8 looks down, taking 8 out of those. So this is 9, 7, and 8. The 8 and the 9 look across, saying that can't be 8, 9. So this is an 8, 9 pair, which is high, which looks across, making that the 7, meaning this is not the 7. That's not the 7. Okay. There's no 8 in those. That's a 7, 9. The 8 looks up, saying there's no 8 there. 8 is in one of those two. If this is 3, that's 8. But it could go 3, 8, 6, 1. I don't see why not. This is low. So this is 1, 2, or 4 only, and it can't be 2. This is a 1 or a 4. And that's a 1, 4 pair. So that's a 2, that's a 3, that's a 4, that's a 1. The 1 looks up, making that the 3, taking 3 out of there. That's a 1, 2 pair, making that the 3, making that the 2, making that the 3. The 3 says that's not the 3, so that is the 3. So these have to be 8 and 9 on the edge of the line. And this is, whoa, I pushed the wrong button there. That's 8. So this is 1, 6, and that can't be the 6. Yeah, that's the 6, and that's the 1. So this is high and low. The 9 looks down, making that the 2, which is low. There's no 8 in here. This is a 1, 9 pair, and the 9 makes that the 1 and that the 9. This is the low, this is the high. These, well, the 1 makes that the 4, and these, no 4, are 6 and 8. No, not 5 and 8, 6 and 8. And the 8 makes, well, they're both high, and the 8 makes that the 6 and that the 8. 6, 6 means this isn't the 6. Oh, there's no 1 here either, and there's no 2. That's a 7. So this is a 1 or a 2. That's a high digit, that's a low digit, so that's a high digit, so that's a low digit. So this is 1, 2, or 3, and it's not 1 or 2. That's the 3, that's not the 3, that's because of the 1, 2 over here. So this is 7 or 8, and it can't be 7 because I can't put 7 next to 3. That's the 8, that's the 7, that's the 6, that's the 7, that's the 9, that's the 8. The 7 looks up, making that the 8 and that the 7. The 8 looks down, making that the 9 and that the 8. I'm going to get rid of all the colouring at this point. The 9 looks up, making that the 6 and that the 9. This row is missing a 4. So these are 1, 2, and 6. There's no 6 there, so that's the 6. It's a 1, 2. That's a 1, 2. The 7 looks up, making that the 9 and that the 7. The 3 makes that the 1. The 2 looks across, making that the 1 and that the 2, which looks down, making that the 1 and that the 2, which looks up, making that the 1 and that the 2, which looks across, making that the 1 and that the 2. And that's the correct solution to the puzzle. Holy cow. That was a beast. This not being able to be 8, I did miss the 9, but this not being able to be 8 was quite a tricky little spot. This not being able to be a 3, I should have spotted that one. I absolutely should have spotted that one. But spotting the X-wings on 3s here, that's absolutely mean for a puzzle like this. Yeah, what a wow. Yep, that is way outside my normal recommendation zone. But this is going to come out, and I will be interested to see in the comments what people think. I'm not going to start doing too many puzzles like this one, but it was recommended, and therefore I wanted to give this set a try. We'll see what people say in the comments. I'm sure many of you will be able to work your way through this when I couldn't. That's just the way it goes. Thanks everyone for watching, and as always, good luck with your solving.